navigator. What you may have already noticed is that under your watch and listen menu, and sometimes even other areas, there are some items in there that you don't want to show up. So for example, if you go to watch right now on your on-screen display, one of the sources there will be receiver. Now, is the receiver really a source? Not really. Yeah, it's just a switch. It's taking our sources and moving them through to something I would watch them on, but it's not really a source. And so as such, I may want to hide that from the user interface so that my customer isn't confused by all of these options that aren't really options within their system. So you'll notice right here, let me fix this real quick. Yours, there we go. That when you choose watch, it shows you all of the various options that you could potentially select from the watch menu. If you don't want them to show up, what you have to do here is click the modify button. And then I can move them over into the hidden devices area. So for example, really the only source that I have, probably that Blu-ray player. So I can move these devices into the hidden area by clicking on them individually or doing like I was doing right there, which is control click or shift click to highlight multiple options at the same time. Then click OK. Although if you only have one source under either the watch or listen menu, when you choose watch or listen, it will automatically select that.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. He's talking. So be aware of that. But
Plus,
if you-
we have an aluminum recycle around the corner.
That's how Gordon's kid makes money, so you gotta,
Sorry.
you're taking money out of his kid's
You
pocket.
bunch of environmental hating people.
Yeah.
For the Boy
We're going
Scouts, maybe.
officially. Okay, so again, for reiteration on that, if you only have one source under watch or listen, when you select that, it will automatically select that source rather than taking you to a submenu. So if you do like I've just done, you might want to maybe leave one other source available just so you don't end up saying, how come when I choose watch, it automatically goes to the DVD player? Because that's how it's configured. Now, besides being able to hide things, sometimes you want to show things. So for example, at my house, in my living room, it only shows the light that's in the living room, or at least initially. There's always the ability to show all of the lights from the house by choosing the one of the menu options out to the right of my lighting area, but if I don't want to take that extra step, I can move things from the hidden area to the shown area, so my living room is sort of the master control. And whenever I choose living room for lights, I see everything in the house. You may want to do that with your project as well. But that's up to you. Just understand that this is the area where you can modify the submenus on the user interface, be it watch, listen, lighting, security to some extent, your IP cameras, thermostats, etc. Any questions on that? Next tab over, this miscellaneous tab can be useful where we can decide, you know what, sometimes when my kids come home, they listen to music, they crank it up pretty loud. So when I go to select music, I don't want it to be at that ear-splitting level. So I can have a default volume. So that whenever I select a source, it sets the volume back down to 25%. So that's a nice feature, I think. But you have to make sure this option is checked in order for it to take place. Additionally, maybe you want to mute the audio channel if you pause your music, because if it's up loud, might be a little bit of static hum. You've got that as an option as well. Any questions there? Okay, let me just give you a couple of minutes this time to do activities 4 and 5.